Hello, my lovelies! September is absolutely stacked with BLs, and I'm not complaining. We've got some highly awaited series that already have everyone buzzing, a few that look painfully mid, and of course, those shows I'm side eyeing from the start. But you know how it goes. Even the questionable ones can sometimes surprise us. So, I will be giving every single one of them a fair try. In total, there are 11 new shows dropping this month, which is a lot to keep up with. So, grab your watch list because we're about to dive straight into September's BL lineup. Kicking off September, we have The Guy Next Door. It's framed around inspiration and music, but at its core, it's about two neighbors slowly finding a rhythm together. This one comes from Seek Media and stars John Eubin and Jo Tae-sub. You'll probably recognize Eubin. He's popped up in several small BLs like Blue of Winter, Actorial, and My Damn Business. He's been quietly building his presence and now he's paired with Tae-sub in what looks like a soft, low-key romance that could easily charm us if the execution is right. Next up is Awaiting Dawn, O2 Productions' very first BL after parting ways with Bhavin, who was basically the face of their studio until now. This one shifts gears from the usual fluffy fare and takes us to the misty hills of Dalat. It follows Viet, an artist trying to heal from heartbreak, who ends up at a small homestay. There he meets Dang, the seemingly cold but quietly warm owner burdened by family duties. Their slow burn romance builds through quiet mornings, warm meals, and unspoken glances. With a parallel girl's love story and even a grandma who ships everyone with everyone. One of the biggest shocks this month has to be Mandate. Boy Pakon, yes, the Boy Pakon is finally stepping into BL. An A-list actor with over 14 years under Channel 3, a household name in Lakons and someone who has worked alongside Thailand's top stars. Seeing him in a BL trailer was unexpected but definitely exciting. And this isn't fluff either. It's a political drama filled with ambition, secrets, and a dangerous romance across class lines. Now he's paired with Ben Punyapol, and let's be honest, Ben only has one acting credit under his belt, Step by Step, where his performance was questionable at best. How he landed opposite Boy is anyone's guess. The pairing looks good visually, but fingers crossed Ben doesn't drag it down the way he did in Step by Step. The only catch here, it's a Monomax exclusive, so interfans like us still don't know if we'll even get access. Next we have Love in the Moonlight, 131's brand new BL led by the pairing of Pearl and Peak. The story is set in a world of family duty and political conflict, where a prince is forced to marry in order to save his family. But while living with his fiance's household, he starts developing feelings for her brother, giving us forbidden romance, palace intrigue, and a love that challenges destiny itself. I've been waiting for Pearl to land a proper lead role ever since his side couple in Laws of Attraction. And Peak, who you might remember from the iconic Make It Right series, brings strong visuals to the pairing. Together, they look striking and the trailer already hints at intensity and chemistry. Honestly, this is one of the shows I'm most excited for this month. Next up is The Last Night, the first story in VO's 4 Destiny project. This one runs for just 2 episodes and follows Aim, who dies in a tragic motorbike accident, leaving behind unresolved feelings for his closest friend Yod, who has since become a monk. It's essentially about unfinished love, forgiveness, and letting go between the living and the dead. Now, here's where I'm conflicted. The lead actors Pan Jirachot and P. Ekapop previously worked together in Season of Shamane and Kiseki Chapter 1. Both low-budget productions that honestly felt like more of a mechanical sex show than actual BL storytelling. The acting isn't terrible, but the chemistry just wasn't there. So while the premise of The Last Night is intriguing, especially with the spiritual undertones, I'm unsure how much depth they'll be able to pull off. Still, since it's a part of a larger project, it's worth giving a try. On the 19th, we've got That Summer starring Vinny and Satang, who you'll probably remember as a couple from VR and My School President. They're not my favorite pairing. Honestly, I find them a bit meh, but here they're back together in a bigger project. The story follows Lava, a troubled teen sent to live with his uncle on an island, who stumbles across a mysterious man washed up on the beach. Surprise twist, he turns out to be a prince with amnesia. It's directed by Jojo Tichakon, who has always hit or miss for me. Only Friends was fantastic, but The Heart Killers didn't leave much of an impression. So whether this ends up being a heartfelt summer romance or just another pretty but empty show really depends on how well Jojo handles the script. Either way, it's releasing directly on 131 and YouTube, so at least it'll be easy for indie fans to watch. On the 21st, Japan is bringing back a true classic with Takumi-kun series. If you've been around long enough, you'll remember the 5 movies released between 2007 and 2011, plus the 2023 film revival. But this is the first time the beloved BL novels are being adapted into a full drama. The story once again takes us into an all-boys boarding school, centering on Takumi and his romance with Gi, played this time by Daichi Shiozaki from Milk and Daigo Kato. There are also supporting couples including Iku from One and Only paired with Ishin. With its rich history and loyal fanbase, this remake has a lot to live up to. But if done right, it could introduce Takumi-kun to a whole new generation of BL fans. On the 26th, we are getting A Journey to Kill You, a Japanese BL adapted from Nishi Asai's manga. It follows Kataoka, a Yakuza underboss with a deceptively gentle exterior but a ruthless streak, and Orajima, a broken man with a tragic past who becomes entangled in his world. The two set out on a literal journey, one that's equal parts survival and self-discovery, where the lines between loyalty, violence, and love blur dangerously. This isn't a fluffy romance, it's a road trip soaked in blood, betrayal, and intimacy, with every encounter testing how far these two men are willing to go for each other. It's gritty, atmospheric, and easily one of the boldest Japanese BLs we've seen in a while. On the 27th, we have The Wicked Game starring Dao and Off-Road. One of my favorite pairs because every time they return, they reinvent themselves completely. None of their roles feel like repeats, which really shows off their range as actors. This series throws us into a world of betrayal, danger, and secrets. Beam, the estranged heir of a powerful family, comes back seeking revenge on the father who abandoned him. His plan? To take down the family from the inside. But things get complicated when he hires Than, a former elite cop turned bodyguard. What starts as trust between employer and subordinate slowly turns into something deeper, something Beam never expected: love. And in a game where no one can be trusted, not even your own heart, that fragile bond could be the very thing that undoes him. Also premiering on the 27th is Lover Merman, Thailand's first ever fantasy BL about merfolk. Adapted from the web novel Pyang Nawa, Lover Merman, it stars Poon Akrapad and Feroz Khan Jemchoi. The story follows a mysterious merman hiding among humans, desperately keeping his true identity secret, until he meets a man who changes everything. What begins as a romance quickly becomes a clash between two worlds, where love might not be strong enough to bridge the gap. It's definitely one of the more experiment titles this month, mixing BL with mythology. Whether it will be magical or messy, we'll soon find out. Wrapping up September, we have Loser Dream, adapted from Joy Lara's hit novel and presented as a vertical series. So yes, this one is shot for phones rather than usual widescreen. The story follows Ai, played by Top Piawar, a survivor haunted by the same nightmare every night. To escape, He experiments with lucid dreaming, where he meets in a mysterious figure played by Drake. But in real life, his boss Jin and neighbor Dr. Win pull him into an even messier love square. And that's all 11 BLs dropping this September. We've got everything from political dramas and fantasy mermaids to dark mafia love and fluffy island romances. Some look promising, some look painfully mid, and a few might just surprise us. Either way, I'll be watching them all. Let me know in the comments which ones you're most excited for and which ones you think I'm wasting my time on. Until next time, my lovelies, happy watching and may September keep your BL plate full. Bye!